Iowa, Kansas, from all over the place.
All over the place. Here we go.
Anyway, we got quite a few folks that are joining us online, but we want to thank everybody. Right now, we've restarted the broadcast so that we can just have a separate separate file just for the girls wrestling.
Oh, we're talking to ourselves. Well, I thought you sounded wonderful for a minute.
Thank you very much. We missed we missed most of the face-off. The roster that they gave us is heavily edited, or in today's political climate, heavily redacted.
We're going to do the best we can.
Yeah.
Just going over some of the information. We've got the head coach for Juab is Billy Cox. Just kind of give a shout out for some of these coaches, assistants, Kazari Pay, Troy Pay, Reagan Newton, Taylor Stevenson, and Casey Anderson for the assistants. For Mountain View, we've got Marin Stafford and Rob Stoddard for Mountain View. We're going to start at 190 weight. We've got Macy Erkenbrack from Juab, and she will wrestle Emma Jensen from Mountain View. So we will start at the 190 weight and then go right to 100 pounds.
Macy and Emma. Emma's out there ready to rock and roll. Macy's just rolling out there. Touches the mat, gets set, and away they go. Macy with a hard collar tie, and Emma's trying to return the favor. Macy says none of that. She just does a little elbow pass, and now she's digging an underhook. Let's see what Macy's planning on doing with that underhook. Now she's got a collar tie. Macy's got a Russian 2-on-1 right now and trying to elevate that. Emma does a good job of just kind of backing out. If you ever feel like you're going to get thrown, the last thing you want to do is stand up straight.
Yeah.
The best thing you want to do is
keep those hips down.
Keep your hips down and back.
Yep.
And so a person that's wrestled a little bit, they quickly learn that if they don't want to go for a ride in front of the crowd, they better hips down and back out. But Emma's doing a good job of hand fighting, elbow passing, and you can tell she's been coached well. Underhook right there. She's looking for. Almost baited Emma or Macy to hit a. No, Emma's the. Anyway, next thing we know, Macy's got herself. She blocked that headlock and was ready for it and cranked on a half. And
put her on her back.
Yeah, putting Emma in a bad spot right now. Emma got her face smashed, and there's a pin.
Macy is, of course, a sister to, I'm trying to remember, I think it's Caden Erkenbrack. He is wrestling in Minnesota right now as a Greco-Roman. Up there in that area. He graduated from Juab and then straight to Greco-Roman school, basically in Minnesota.
Is it the Olympic Training Center that focuses just on Greco?
Something affiliated with that, but it is Greco up in Minnesota. So I don't know exactly where that's at. But he's been up there for the last 2 years, and he was an excellent Greco-Roman wrestler here for Juab. So here we now have, starting at 100 pounds, Addie Nilsson. No, this is Emily Shoemaker, just by looking at her from Juab. And then she is wrestling, it appears, Natalie Roberts from Mountain View. So skipping down to 105 pounds.
Emily and
Shoemaker.
Natalie.
Yep. And the score shows that. It looks like there was a forfeit at the 100-pound weight with Addie Nilsson taking the victory for Juab.
Nice shot by Emily. She's in on a leg and driving through, takes her to the hip, instead of stepping out, she steps out, doubles off, and secures that takedown. That was nice, picture perfect. Single leg kind of high crotch thing where pops her head up and uses her head to slam the hip over of her opponent, and it just was perfect. Nice short choppy steps, and she doubled. I say double off, that means she switches midstream from a single leg to a double, and she's got a half or an arm bar. Kind of an arm bar.
Yeah.
And she's trying to hip in.
She just got to hip back a little bit and climb right over on top. There she is. Now she's in a better position.
Yeah, see how just stick her legs out, and she was up off the ground and just putting all kinds of pressure on poor Natalie, and Natalie got pinned by Miss Emily Shoemaker.
The Juab girls wrestling would like to thank some sponsors. Do we have some time to?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to do it.
Sponsors here.
Absolutely.
We've got Summit Medical Spa. We appreciate your assistance. Geneva Rock. We've got Nebo Vision. We've got West Winds, McPherson Farms, and Propane Network. So appreciate those businesses that support Juab Wrestling.
Takes a village to raise a child. Takes a village to run a wrestling program.
It does. It does. It's. So at 110 pounds, we've got Andy Stevenson from Juab. She is wrestling Emma Felix at 110 pounds. Here we go.
Andy's. I like the way Andy moves. She. You could just tell sometimes a wrestler that just kind of knows where they're at. And I know she just gave up a takedown, but that's a. No. That is Andy on top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Arm bar on the close side and with a half on the far side. So she's
and
going to
just
try
put
to tip
all
her
kinds
over.
of hurt.
Wow! Look at that.
There's the pin.
That's it.
Yeah, just first of all, she started out with a Russian 2-on-1, and she was trying to plant it in the ground. I mean, she knew what she was doing with that Russian 2-on-1, and you just love to see. Girls wrestling is a new phenomenon in the United States. It happens to be the fastest growing sport in North America.
See, I didn't know that.
Which is awesome, right?
That is awesome.
Because us old guys, there weren't girls who wrestled with us. Then when my boys wrestled, there were some girls.
Yeah.
And now they've got their own separate league, which is I think who could deny that? That's just an awesome opportunity for these girls to learn how to wrestle and enjoy it as a sport, but then just have that skill for the rest of their life. So they're teenage boys that think they're tough. They're going to whoop their teenage boys for a long time.
You better watch it. They're going to put you in armbar, boys.
Took me until 6 or 8 before I could beat my mom, and she didn't know how to wrestle. It would have been
a different story.
A junior maybe.
All right, so here at 115 we have McKaylee Watkins from Juab, and she is wrestling Sabrina Felix from Mountain View. So McKaylee Watkins.
All right, McKaylee's trying to tug on that arm and get some arm control. Arm drag.
Yeah, there's a lot of skills that they learn here. They're not going to be able to be taken too quickly in a black alley or a dark alley, are they?
Yeah.
With some of these skills. So.
Yeah, just good life skills, huh?
Yeah.
Let's call it life skills, what it is.
It's a good life skill.
Shot by the Bruin, and McKaylee gets her hips back, sprawl. She's giving her some hips, hipping in, and she's going a crossface right now. She's kind of peeling her face off, looking for that near ankle, trying to grab anything near side to dump that, and she does. She hasn't got her 2 points yet for a takedown because you can see the Bruins got a leg kind of hung there. But if she could just get behind, get her 2 points, now she's got the 2. Sometimes they're working on back points where they just did a quick second, bounced around back behind. They get their 2 points and they don't lose any of their grip, whatever they're working on for the pin. All right, she's got a try and a half, but the Bruin is doing a good job of staying balled up there, and it's pretty hard to crank your opponent over when their hips are underneath them and their legs are.
McKinsley, she has a bunch of older brothers. So she probably has wrestled with them for years.
Whether she wanted to or not.
Right. So thank you, brothers, for teaching her and getting her ready for this competition.
I had a sister that was a year older than me that went to lots of wrestling practices with me just because our dad coached. And she could put the hurt on me until 6th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I remember how tough I thought I was when I could finally beat my sister Amber. All right. Forehead to forehead right now, and pushing and pulling and tugging. Sabrina in on a shot, but her head was one of the challenges with it. With when you shoot a takedown and your head's not clearly on the inside or on their hip on the outside, it just makes you a wide open target for a crossface or any kind of defense. So Sabrina's putting a lot of work into that. She's not going to get anything out of it. In fact, she got a cow catcher put on her and put right to her back. And McKinley, once she smelled blood in the water, it was kind of done.
She took it over.
All right, Miss Watkins with a nice pin. Team score right now is 24-0 in favor of the Lady Wasps.
Nice.
I can hardly
that sounds good. Lady Wasps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm new here, so maybe it doesn't sound weird to everybody else, but
I mean, sometimes we even say it wasps. But it all depends on who we're playing. If we really want to get excited. All right. 120 pounds, Kyra Pay for Juab. She is going up against Kenzie McCoy from Mountain View. So Kyra and here we go, Kenzie.
We got a live wire here.
Yeah. I think Kenzie McCoy, she's one of the team captains. So she may be a little older for the school, but she was in the center of the mat as we began.
Kenzie McCoy putting a crossface on Kyra, looking for a near leg dump right now. She's got a crossface. Now she looked like she was going head to knee for a cradle, but Kyra snagged an arm and kind of slowed it down.
Built back up to her base.
All right, Kenzie from Mountain View got that takedown and
working on that head on the front side.
Kenzie's doing a good job. See how Kenzie's up on her toes. Her knees are, if they're touching the mat, only for a second, but she's driving with her toes. See how her hips are kind of on top of Kyra's right there, that she's just making Kyra carry most of her weight and energy and pressure. So if you're the top wrestler, you're trying to drive forward and put all the weight of your opponent on their own hands, and then you're kind of in the driver's seat. And conversely, the bottom wrestler is trying to pressure back to get weight off their hands so they can fight hands and get their feet up and get a stand up. But what you like to see from the top wrestler is just on their toes most of the time and off their knees.
Well, and that's putting all the pressure, right as you say, right on your opponent. If you're on your knees or you're on your on your knees, you're putting that weight on the mat rather. So,
right.
Yeah, good call.
You're giving your opponent a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
and you don't want to do that when they want to put the hurt on you. All right, so Kyra was doing everything she could to put a point on the board in the last seconds of that round. Looks like Kenzie won the toss, and she chooses neutral, so they're up on their feet again. I mean, I love her footwork, too. She's kind of jabbing. She's faking. A slick high crotch there. To some people, they might call that a single leg. I don't know.
Came just out back.
But it was slick.
Came out the back door, didn't she?
It was slick.
That puts it 4-0.
Minute 35 left in the second period. And Kenzie's doing a good job of keeping pressure on Kyra. Kyra's doing a good job of keeping her knees underneath her. What you don't want is to get bellied out when you're on the bottom. And so it takes a lot more work than you realize to keep kind of on your base, at least your knees. And so see how Kyra's fighting hands underneath there? She's trying to get Kenzie to let go of that wrist. And Kenzie is working on a 2-on-1 underneath. She wants two hands on one of Kyra's wrists, and she's got all kinds of weapons she can use if she can do that. But,
that was the back of the neck.
Hard.
You know, the one thing I've noticed about Kenzie is she is always moving.
Yeah.
She's not going to stop. Just a hard cross face right there again. She's not going to let Kyra sit too long down on the bottom.
Another nice crossface by Kenzie. It got a little salty there, didn't it?
It did. My nose started to hurt just there for a minute.
Wow. My boys went to a wrestling camp with Mike. Oh, Kenzie cuts her. Kind of hard cuts her, too.
4-1. Did you see they got a stalling? So they gave Kyra a stalling warning right before she let him up, or let her up. So 4-1.
The boys went to a wrestling camp one time with an Iowa wrestler named Mike Zadek. And anybody follows Iowa wrestling is known for this attack style of wrestling. Iowa attack style. And there it's like a brawl. You're gonna feel like you've gotten an alley fight.
You're gonna have
if you wrestle someone from Iowa. Yeah. Count on it, actually. And Mike Zadek was the epitome of Iowa wrestling. And in this camp, he was screaming at the top of his lungs while these guys are drilling and kind of live going. He's telling, it should be 1 degree away from a fist fight. 1 degree away from a fist fight. And nice awareness by Kenzie there. Kind of did a trip. They both got stood up, and she had a little bit of a body lock or something, and then tripped, and down went Kyra. But Kyra bellied out real quick, so she didn't go feet to back. She just went feet to belly and gave up 2 points instead of 4-5. All right, Kenzie hard cuts her again. Oh, it is getting chippy.
It is.
And Kyra says, let me slap you on the side of the head and shoot in on a takedown, but she's got head inside, and Kenzie's doing a good job of feeding Kyra lots of hips. See how Kenzie's kind of sprawled out, and her feet are wide, and her toes are out so that they can slide. Now toes are down. All right, they call a stalemate there, and great wrestling by both those ladies. They're getting kind of chippy, and you like to see that in wrestling. Nothing out of bounds or unsportsmanlike at all, but boy, are they going after each other. Kenzie's stuffing the head,
Kyra's
looking for an ankle.
Right
Kyra's head's popped out.
She's got to just elevate it.
She wants to step up with that outside leg.
Not
and
enough.
Kenzie does a good job of stuffing that head and keeping it stuffed so she can spin behind and steal that 2-point takedown. Good job by Kenzie. 25 seconds left in this match. Oh, Kenzie's doing everything she can to get some back points, and Miss Kyra,
that was a good fight.
Kyra put up a fantastic fight there, and Kenzie I think has some respect for Kyra, because the way Kenzie wrestles, I bet you she just mauls a lot of the wrestlers she's up against, because she's a tough, aggressive, chippy wrestler. Iowa-style wrestler. She wasn't going to take it easy on Kyra. All right, Mountain View receives a forfeit, so that is a 6-point team score there, combined with Kenzie's win by decision. That's a 3-point. So Mountain View's got 9 points on the board now to Juab's 24.
I just wanted to confirm that schedule. So here we have Addison Johnson from Juab. She is wrestling Jada Sim. So there was a forefoot, but I'm not quite sure where that took place. But anyway, we're at 125. Addison Johnson was wrestling.
Oh! And Mountain View does what? We have our own name in our family for that move. I don't know what they call it here, but I don't want to share a family secret, but we call that the Huckabee. We don't know where we came up with that either, the Huckabee. But anyway, Juab does a great job. AJ does a fantastic job of wrestling through that position and earns a hard-fought 2-point takedown. And that's what you love to see with wrestlers. They just don't stop like, and oh, shoot, they got me. But they just keep fighting, keep digging and wrestling through a position until the ref awards the points. They don't have them.
That's right.
So don't give them easy. Oh, up on her feet goes Jada, and AJ hooks a leg, but AJ wishes her leg. See how she's wrapped around? She wishes she was, anyway, she wished she had a different grip on that leg, but gave up a reversal. And Jada is reaching too high. It's too high for that. And AJ, AJ's got a reversal. Now she's digging a half, but Jada's up on her feet, fighting hands right now, fighting hands. And I think that was wise of AJ to cut there because she was going to get warned for stalling and give up a point. Something. So why not get punished one time instead of 2 times, right? Give up the point instead of a point and a stall call because you're hanging on too long. When the bottom wrestler gets up, the top wrestler is kind of trying to get him back down to a mat return, and they're behind him, hanging on in whatever way. And if they are hanging on for more than 5 seconds, they're supposed to get warned for stalling.
Stall call.
So that's why in wrestling nowadays you see the top wrestler just cut them loose, right? It's sometimes they think it's not worth the energy and the risk of getting a stall call.
Yeah.
So they just cut them.
4-3. That was a lot of action for a first round. I'm not quite sure who had the choice here, but they started at neutral position here. Mountain View.
AJ does it. AJ's got a tight cow catcher. She wants to get back in the mat. Oh, and she sneaks down and grabs a leg while the Bruin thought she had just saved the day. AJ doubles off. Oh, spent a little too much time on her knees there and didn't hustle through that one, but looked like now she's doubling off. She's got to get up on her feet and short choppy steps like she just did. Well done by AJ to, while she was underneath, stole a leg and then was looking for that double. And as soon as she was able to wrap up that double, she kind of pressured in and secured the 2 points.
Whoa. Trying to coach her to go around, but right now, no takedown as of yet.
Yeah, she's not in a terrible position right now if she hangs onto that arm and keeps sucking it down.
Ties down that ankle in the back end there also.
Yeah, if she can clear her leg there in the back and then continue to suck, and she's looking for that head to roll her over on her back. Yeah. All right, AJ looks like she's in the didn't realize what she had right there. Gave up 2 points right there in the last 11 seconds left in this period to tie it up. So AJ's on bottom. I thought she was going to. All right, the Bruin drops down to a far ankle and a far knee. And AJ does a good job of maintaining her base. She just kind of slid around. And that wraps up the second period. Off to the third period with 2 points or 2 minutes left in the whole match. And they're tied up. All right. Somebody.
Juab has choice, and she chose down.
Yeah, AJ chooses down. Smart, probably a smart decision just with her scrambling that we saw in the last round. She was, a couple times just maybe an inch away from getting a reversal. So if she can kind of keep creating those opportunities.
It'll be interesting to see if she'll get one here or she'll get the reversal.
AJ doing a good job of maintaining her base, and see all that forward pressure by Jada on top, and Jada got a little high and dangled her arm out front. If you're on top, the arms do not dangle in front. If you're going to go in the front, you better be smacking them hard with a crossface.
Yep, no dangling.
Dangling is not allowed on top.
So she got the 1 point.
Yeah,
7-6
because of the dangle.
Because of the dangle. Almost had, when she was dangling, almost put a half on her, almost slid her right off the top. Headlock, does she get it?
Oh,
she
no.
Does not.
Went head hunting, and now she's behind. AJ's behind by 1, and that's the thing with throws is, boy,
good when you get them, but when you don't, right? It's
we grew up in an environment in Wyoming where the coaches, and it didn't matter which coach was coaching you, if you threw, you got your butt chewed.
You ended up running at the end.
They thought that was trash wrestling. There's no freestyle, there. Not much anyway.
Right.
But they did not like throws, even if you pinned your guy. You're like, Coach, I pinned him. That's good, but you better not do that again.
Yeah. Well, and maybe just for that fact is sometimes, it's a risk when you go to throw, and sometimes you don't get it.
Yeah. But you know what? Everybody needs to have a throw in their arsenal, because you're going to be at the end of the match and need more than 2 point takedown.
Yeah.
So I think a throw's good to have there, but we had to sneakily do those back in Wyoming where
AJ's got to stand up here.
AJ's got 10 seconds left. She's got to do something. She's got to drive in. If she'll drive in. Oh, so close. That was a fun match. I actually got goosebumps right now.
That was a fun match. Great job both to Addison and Jada. Thank you for entertaining us. That was fun.
That was outstanding. That's the way wrestling's supposed to be. All right, up next, I believe, will be Tashra Pay against Isla Baeza.
Isla Baeza.
To Isla's parents, we apologize if we're not getting the name right. Oh, Isla with a nice shot. Nice shot, and she's scooping up more leg, and now she's just trying to elevate.
Whoa.
Oh, didn't know where she was at, but Miss Pay did, and Miss Pay dumped her right on her back.
No points.
But they didn't give any points. Didn't secure the points there.
Team score 24-12 going into this match.
Oh, nice.
That was a nice duck.
Nice drop down to a leg, but didn't secure the 2 points yet. Now she did.
Yeah, that was a pretty move.
Yeah, outstanding. A nice work by Isla. Or Isla. All right, the Bruin cuts Tashra loose. Let's see what she does now. She's kind of snapping, and I love the way, and she's gonna, lifts her up and is looking for a Turk. Puts her back down.
Got the 2 points.
But her setup there was just slick as slick could be. Woo.
Yeah, she was
now she cuts her.
Well trained.
Cuts her, snapping ahead a little bit, overhooks there, and Tashra tries to throw her by. Oh, and an inside trip. Come on.
Whoa.
And a pancake headlock by the Bruin.
Yeah, she's got her down tight.
That was some very good wrestling
she's
by
tough.
Miss
Isla.
Baeza. That was slick wrestling. And you know what? You could tell she's a young wrestler. She's new to it because she was in some positions that were really good that she created. She didn't know quite that she was in that awesome position.
Yeah.
But her technical wrestling was fantastic. The way she set up takedowns, she executed perfect takedowns. The way she finished that last one where she elevated and was looking to grab that inside leg and dump Miss Pay on her back. But, man, that was a great match and a good one for Miss Pay to watch. Just and borrow some of that technique.
Yeah. I mean, we've said it 100 times that you're only as good as your competition, and that's what it takes is for you to wrestle tough kids to get tough.
You have to get hammered to know that there's this other level.
Yeah, that's right.
I wrestled a guy from Skyview High School named Brendan Bagley. He's last I heard he was a physical therapist in Draper, Utah, but I'd never had my butt beat so hard as that. He took me down and let me up and took me down and let me up, and I thought, that's my job. I'm the one supposed to be doing the taking down.
That's my playbook.
He did not care about my feelings that day.
But that's the match you remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I watched that back, and I watched that great big VHS tape over and over, probably 200 times, and my style quickly evolved into Brendan Bagley. And we could wrestle again. He'd have put the hurt on me again. But I was a much better wrestler because that guy beat me up.
Yeah. You know, that's what wrestling, it's you learn and you grow, and every time we've said it, you take the chance when you get on the mat, you give it all you've got, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you learn from it.
Yeah. I was watching a little clip by Joe Rogan today, and I think a lot of you that are listening online, that you just, Joe Rogan that does the announcing for UFC, and he has such tremendous respect for wrestling, and he says you darn well better have a fantastic base foundational skill of wrestling in UFC. And if you don't, I mean, it's great if you're on your feet and you can strike and you can kick, but usually wrestlers dictate where the real battle takes place, and that's on the mat. And he says, if you're not a fantastic wrestler, you're not winning.
Yeah, I see that.
Nice slick takedown right at the end.
So Kyra DeFino for Juab Wrestling, Shayla Halley is how
and Shayla did a fantastic. One of the best times to score is at the bitter end of a round when the other person's kind of relaxing a little bit. There's only 3 seconds. They're just going to let the clock run out. Nope. Quick takedown.
And you see that a lot.
Yep.
You see that a lot.
Nice shot by Shayla, but it looks like Kyra's gonna.
Yeah. There you go. Lay it on her. There you go.
So Kyra does a good job of kind of cross-facing, making it miserable up top for Shayla, and then ekes it out, going behind to get that takedown, just to go behind. And sometimes they're not as pretty as a single, double, high crowd, anything, but it's still 2 points.
Still does the job. Got a half Nilsson on this side, going to run it.
And a wrist on the far side, which is what you want. And, man, she just about had Shayla bellied out. And she's going to run it. There, now she's bellied out, and she's got a little better, but she didn't have a half. She lost that and had 2 wrists controlled underneath. And sometimes you can slide your hip in there, but usually if you don't have a half or an arm bar,
it's hard to turn them.
Yeah, pretty hard to get them across. Smacks her with a nice hard crossface. Now she's looking for a barbed wire, but she doesn't circle out in front. Oh, now she's got to circle out in front, get her legs circling around the head, but she goes back and still got a crossface. Kind of. Let's go with that and looking for wrists now. And usually she wants to pick one, not 2.
Another tight match here.
2-2 as we head into the third period. These are great matches.
So third period.
Oh, Kyra's just putting some grind on Shayla, and it hasn't yielded any fruit yet this period, but it's going to. She's putting all kinds of pressure on Shayla. Shayla does a good job of bouncing up onto her base again.
She's got to keep going. She just got to keep going. There she goes, walking around that head.
She's
going
trying to.
3/4.
Yeah, she's kind of trying to, with wrist control, use her hip in there to get her over, and that's not, especially with a girl that's typically way more flexible. You gotta have that a pinning hold locked up that hurts them.
Yeah.
And then as I say that, she does exactly what I was just talking about, and just about gets back points. That doesn't hold her there long enough to get them, but
that's the difference. If she was in a more solid pinning combination, she would be able to hold and get those points.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's just tough to wrestle somebody that's so flexible, and it seems like every girl is more flexible than the most flexible guy.
Yeah, right.
They're just oh, they bounce heads off the mat, and I think Shayla got her bell rung. Frankly,
did she get? I didn't see that. But
they hit really hard. I think her bell's rung, and she's all bellied out right now. And Kyra's got 18 seconds to get some points on the board before they go into sudden victory.
Yeah, she's got to recognize where she's at. She's right on the edge of the mat. And there it is, 3 seconds. So there's a lot of move that's got to take place.
All right, Miss Shayla showing some grit. Oh, she's fighting. Time runs out. Got another overtime. All righty, here we go. Let's see who can eke this one out. Oh, headlocks, slow motion one. Well, you want to see him snap that one a little harder, but
just leave that alone.
All right, Kyra with, Kyra's got to get out of there. She does. She does.
Now with all that pressure, Kyra should just pop her head down there.
Yeah, if she could put some snap pressure, snap down. Oh, those headlocks are ill attempted. She's so tired she can't do it quite the right way, so she needs to snap down and go behind, but she's going to run out of time. And time ran out. Time did not run out, and the coaches are not going to argue that, and they shouldn't, because the time didn't run out. It ran out the moment they hit the mat, and that was 2 points for Miss Shayla Holly from Mountain View. It's a hard-fought match by those two ladies.
All right, we have Morgan Holdaway just won by victory, so she just got a forfeit, keeping the score 30-21 for Juab.
You almost wish, just for clarity's sake, when you've got girls wrestling is so new that there's hardly a team that fills every weight class, and you almost wish just in the first year or two
you just don't count those.
You don't count the forfeits. It's just match against match, right? Yeah. How many matches did your team actually win versus the other team? You know, I wish, but what do I know? Just happy to be here. Any wrestling's better than no wrestling. Okay, Miss Samantha Reynolds at 145 against Miss Sophie Stoddard from Mountain View. Samantha from Juab, Sophie from Mountain View.
So Samantha, of course, she's got a younger brother that's wrestling, Justice, for
Oh.
Juab. Her older brother wrestled last year. He was a senior and was in the state finals. So kind of a wrestling family, the Reynolds are.
Yeah, and we better give Samantha her shout out for
Does
Mom
she have
and
a
Dad.
shout out there?
Her shout out.
Well,
Go get them.
Go get them, Samantha. 2 points. Samantha's way involved in school activities. I think she's a cheerleader. The rest of the time that she's not wrestling.
She's not putting the hurt on somebody.
Right.
What a great combination.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm a wrestler and I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things I ever saw when I finally bought in to girls wrestling was Emma Carhue. Just little, she's just tiny in Powell, Wyoming. Her whole family, they can wrestle like the wind, they can pole vault like the wind, and they can sing. And little Emma, who was friends with Harrison.
Okay.
But this girl, at the beginning of that round of wrestling in a tournament, she sings the national anthem and blows the doors off the gym.
And then she gets on the mat.
And then she drops the mic and walks out on the mat and puts a hurt on this guy. And I'm like, okay, I'm a huge Emma Carhue fan. I mean, to this day, I'm an Emma Carhue fan.
That is awesome.
And-
Half Nilsson right there. She's got it loaded.
Oh, Miss Samantha been working on her brother with that one.
So 2-0 going to the second period. Juab is trying to decide what she wants to do, Samantha. She chooses neutral.
I love a wrestler that's good choosing neutral.
Just going to take you down, let you go.
My
Gonna
favorite
take you
part
down,
of
let
wrestling.
you go.
My favorite part of wrestling is takedowns.
Yeah, I
always
like
has been.
Prefer it, especially when you throw.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice fireman's carry by Samantha Reynolds. She keeps the arm like she's supposed to. She's patient. She's keeping the arm. She's smelling blood in the water. She's hanging onto that arm like she's supposed to. She's locking it up, and Miss Samantha Reynolds is looking for a pin, and she gets it. Great fireman's carry by Samantha Reynolds. Textbook fireman's carry, and you see a lot of experienced wrestlers let that arm go, and they give up. They don't get back points because of it, but not Samantha.
She kept it. All right, we're going to have a couple forfeits from Juab here.
Look at this. The coach pauses the duel and gives her an award for 50 wins.
That's cool.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's
fun.
a really big deal.
Way to go, Samantha. That's awesome.
Does a little pose, gets her picture taken. Look at her smile. Good job, Samantha Reynolds. What an honor to be a wrestler on a relatively new program, right?
And has 50 wins.
50 wins. Holy cow.
I think she is maybe a sophomore this year, so that would mean that she is secured
She's on track for
50
100
wins, in just a
on
year
track
and a half.
for 100.
So 2 forfeits. Candace Stubbs, Brianna Willis gets a forfeit from Mountain View. Also, Candace Stubbs, at 170. So one more match to go with Macy Erkenbrack. She wrestles again with Darren Matagi. It looks
Cool.
like.
Cool. Macy and Darren, spelled with a Y, Darrryn. I love it. Oh, Darren Matagi does a little head roll to get out of a collar tie. I love that. Pushing that head back, and she's touching the mat to kind of get reset. Macy's taking all kinds of territory. She's the one taking the territory. Darren's the one backing up the most. Macy does a good job of resetting there. And, oh, these two are kind of chippy.
Yeah, they're kind of fighting with those arms, trying to get that arm control.
That's what it's supposed to look like, too. Hand fighting should be kind of like fighting. Darren's got a, excellent. Ooh, head position by Darren, and she's going for a little hip toss. Most of the time, when you hear coaches yelling head position, that means you got your forehead in your opponent's neck, the side of their neck, and that just gives you all kinds of an advantage when you're looking for a takedown. Instead of being forehead to forehead, if you got an underhook, usually you want to get your head in the side of their neck. It makes it super easy to jack that underhook up and then drop down on the leg. If you want to do a knee pick on the far side, is really the only exception to having your head out front. But Macy's got an arm and a underhook and an arm, and Darren did a great job of kind of blocking that and ended up falling on top to get the takedown. But Macy is about to get a reversal if she can. Oh, and she does! And she gets Darren on her back and gets 2 back points in the process. Great mat awareness by Macy Erkenbrack to know where she's at, know what's going on, and kind of just seize the moment. I don't think she really even expected to get a pin. It was kind of a scramble, but she held on to it long enough to get some swipes out of the official. All right, back up on their feet, neutral position. Ooh, and Macy is kind of she's grinding in there, and there are times when Darren looks away like, I don't know if I want any more of that. But,
I don't know if I want to be in this match right now. The other brother, Daryl.
Yeah. Oh, great head snapping by Darren.
Yeah, she's just
she's tugging on the back of that. If you're sitting by somebody, grab somebody on the back of the neck, do a collar tie, and then grab them on the back of the head. Yeah. That's totally different world, and that's what Darren was doing. Had the ball on the back of Macy's head and putting all kinds of pressure on Macy. And in a match, it is amazing what that does to wear out your opponent.
Oh, she tripped.
She thought she was going to duck underneath and get something.
Yeah.
But she was backing up and had weight on her heels instead of the balls of her feet. And Darren went down, and Macy just understood where she was at and just took it and owned it. All right, folks, that concludes the girls wrestling and a great duel. I mean, the final score, because of all the forfeits, Mountain View wins with a score of 39-36 over Juab Lady Wasps. Yeah. We're going to wrap up this stream right here so that it can be a separate stream. We'll restart here in just a few minutes. We'll try to get restarted for the face-off. But thanks, everybody, for joining. And don't go away, because the great Juab boys varsity wrestling squad is up next. And they're the #1 ranked squad in 3A. And they've got a fairly young team. They're wrestling a lot of tough teams, and they've taken some losses this year they're just not used to doing. But it just makes them a little chippier, I think.
Yeah, so they've wrestled some tough people. You've gone up to Westlake. They have Layton coming up in the next couple weeks. They go out to the TOC this weekend, and there's going to be some tough wrestling out there. Tough. In the Uinta Basin.
All righty, friends. We'll jump back on in just a few minutes, but until then,